Oh my god, Season 3 of Premier is here, and it's not Cash, it's not Mirage going out, it's not Inferno going out, it's ANUBIS going out, and OVERPASS returning, along with a pretty hefty Mp9 nerf, a significant buff to CT side economy, and a CT Molly buff is going to shake up how we play Counter-Strike on a fundamental level. There's a little bit more to go over in today's update. Let's go ahead and get right to it. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, you can show me by leaving a like and leaving a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me hit 10k subs by the end of the year. Also, before we do the sponsor segment, follow me on twitch.tv/LionHeartZ. I will be streaming my placement matches for Season 3 tonight, and I hope you guys will join me there. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and thank the sponsor. This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey, a CS2 trading website. You put in the skins that you want to trade, you select what you want, you use my code LionHeartZ for up to $5 off, or click the top link in the description, and boom, new drip. Nice. You can also use my code for a 35% deposit bonus if you want to buy with real money. And they have a free section with cool giveaways. So check the top link in the description, use my code to buy 15 Dragon Lores to let them know I sent you their way, and thank you to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. Okay, first things first, let's start with the only non-gameplay update, and that's that Valve made a change to how trade protected items work. Now, there is a 7-day window where you can go into your trade history and reverse any trade made in the event that you lose access to your account or are the victim of a scam. Now, on the surface, seems like a pretty good system. However, some of the traders and the SKINCELLS on Twitter are pointing out that this might be an issue for how skin trading websites work, as the system might be able to be abused to scam people in different ways. So we'll just have to wait and see how that shakes out. On the surface, making items safer is the correct move by Valve, but obviously we don't want to disrupt the broader skins ecosystem, so we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully Valve have put in some fail-safes to where you can't abuse this, you can't just refund trades every day endlessly or something. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But like, I'm not OwnAPixel, you guys don't care about that. Let's talk about the gameplay stuff. Season 3 of Premier has begun. If you want to get your Season 3 medal, you need to win a minimum of 25 match wins and have an active rating in Premier by the end of the season. Now this time around, Valve did not announce when the next season will end. I would assume it's going to end after the Budapest Major, and we're going to be rolling into 6-month seasons going forward, but there is some ambiguity there, beware. If you want to max out this medal, just like with Season 2 and Season 1, you need to win up to 100 matches. So good luck out there. I personally did not get to 100 Premier wins in Season 2 for various reasons, mostly down to the fact that I just didn't play nearly as many games as Season 1, but I'm making it an effort this time. Season 3, we're going to get those 100 wins. I want to break through the 20k barrier, which we've been stuck kind of right below that, and that's kind of my own personal goal. Let me know in the comments down below. What are you guys trying to hit in Premier this season? Let me know. Alongside Season 3, the biggest change of the update is the map pool has been shifted. We all thought Cash would be coming back, but no, right now we live in ambiguity. Will Cash come back? Will have to be remain to seen for another day. In the meantime, it's ANUBIS that will be stepping on the limelight for a little bit. The map has a lot of problems, so I'm glad to see it go, and it's OVERPASS that's coming back. OVERPASS first left the map pool in the middle of 2024 back in April of last year, and in the meantime, it's seen a few adjustments. It received some pretty big overhauls around the time Train came into the map pool after the Shanghai Major, and so it feels like a good time to bring it back and give it another go. I'm personally a massive OVERPASS fan. I think it adds a new tactical map into the map pool when the map pool has been pretty aggressive overall. I like OVERPASS. It's not the most fun map casually because you need to know a lot of utility, but it can really push you to grow more as a player because of that, in my opinion. And it's a fun layout, it's an iconic layout. I think it'll be very good at the pro level, and I hate ANUBIS. I very much dislike ANUBIS. I know Inferno is the map many people want to see go away. I totally understand that opinion. I think Inferno is much more playable than ANUBIS. ANUBIS needs significant work for it to come back. Now, in an ideal world, I think Valve should have yoinked either Inferno or Mirage and ANUBIS and brought back OVERPASS and Cash together. If we're going to have the 6-month seasons, it makes no sense to not swap 2 maps out. 6 months is a good amount of time to have a map pool, and if there's any issues, it gets addressed in a pretty short time frame, all things considered when we're talking about CS updates. So removing 2 maps, adding 2 in, that feels like a good cadence to me. Instead, it's just ANUBIS out, OVERPASS in. I think that's overall a great change, and I'm really happy to see it. Past that, we have some huge gameplay updates. First things first, the CT side Molly was buffed. Now, it was nerfed a little while ago, I think a little over a year ago, and it's been pretty bad ever since. One of those changes that initially I was pretty positive about, but in terms of impact has been pretty bad for the health of the game, I have to say. So I'm glad to see Valve kind of revert the nerf in a way. The Molly still behaves differently CT side versus T side, but now the CT side molly specifically deploys into its maximum radius essentially instantly. I have this looping on screen for you. If you look at the comparison between the CT and the T molly deploys, it bursts, and then it spreads to its full radius, whereas the CT molly, it makes contact and it goes to the full area immediately. So the CT molly now deploys to its maximum radius almost instantly, at the trade-off of having a smaller maximum radius than the T molly. I think that's actually a really good push and pull. The T side molly can do more, but it takes longer to do it. And now on the CT side, the big thing this benefits, if you're getting pushed off a position and you throw a reactionary molly into a group of T's pushing you, they are instantly punished by the full radius, instead of having kind of a window of a second or two to push through your Molotov for little damage because it's not at the maximum bloom yet. Overall, I think this makes the CT molly significantly stronger and a better tool at instantly taking space back, instead of a tool that overall was kind of mediocre compared to the T-side molly in basically every way. But wait, there's more! On top of this, we also got a long-awaited Mp9 nerf. Now, Valve a little while ago took kind of a slap at the Mp9, nerfing its crouching accuracy for some reason, but obviously, we all know why the Mp9 was super busted, is that you could run, gun, and jump with basically no penalty. So now, they've essentially hit that in every way possible. The Mp9's recoil is harsher, it goes to its maximum recoil intensity faster, and the jumping accuracy has been decreased significantly. Now, just kind of running around a private server, it still looks like it's pretty accurate jumping because the SMGs are, by a rule, more accurate than other weapons while jumping. But, dude, the old Mp9 was a laser while jumping. It was so ridiculous how accurate it was for the first 3 or 4 bullets while jumping. Well, now, you'll kind of get one that's pretty close to your crosshair, but 2, 3, and 4 are going to go everywhere. So this makes run and gun with the Mp9 a lot worse. And in my opinion, this means that the UMP is now way more valuable. The UMP is $50 cheaper than the Mp9, it is now more accurate than the Mp9 in every single way, and it does have higher damage. It doesn't have the rate of fire, but the ease of use, in my opinion, makes the Mp9 far more attractive in terms of what options I want on a CT side round. So you heard here first, the UMP is the meta, and I hope to see pro players UMPing more than ever before after this update. UMP stonks have never been higher. And the last update, but certainly not the least, is we finally received a massive buff to the CT side economy. Now on its surface, this is not going to seem like much, but follow me for a minute. What they did was, Valve added a kill reward that goes to the entire team for every T you take out in a round, regardless of round outcome. So if you win a round, you kill all 5 Ts, you now get a flat extra $250. And if you were to lose a round, well, let's say you killed 4 before you lost a round, you lost a clutch situation in a 1v1, you're still walking away from that loss with $200 extra. This, in effect, makes it way more advantageous for CTs to hunt and make every round as costly as possible for the Ts, because every kill you get is essentially adding to your own loss bonus. And listen, does $250 sound like a lot to you? It may not, but that is oftentimes the difference between able to buy a rifle or an SMG. So if you get a lot of these extra kills, you can get up to extra thousands of dollars over the course of a half. And I'm not even exaggerating with that number. There are 60 possible kills in any given half. 12 times 5. I know, math is scary. Stay with me. 60 times 50 is $3,000. So every kill you get, that is a lot of money. That will enable at least one more buy per half for CTs in most scenarios, and it should incentivize teams to be less passive. Right now, take Inferno for example. A big deal is how often you need to save if you lose a bomb site. But now, that save becomes a bit more of a give and take, because if you choose to hunt some kills, you can make a little bit of extra money to make that next round buy more possible. Straight up saving in like a 3v5 without hunting will be way worse. And if the CTs are winning rounds, you're now getting a flat $250 on top of your win round bonus every round you win. How many times have you, the player, the viewer, been in a situation where the CTs barely get through a round in the early parts of a half? You squeak through with 1 player alive, you won the round, but you don't have enough money to buy, even though you just won. That will alleviate that to some extent, or at least make it less likely to happen. Overall, this is a fantastic step forward. I still think kits should be cheaper, kits should be droppable from spawn out of the buy menu. We are so close to creating economic parity between the two sides. This is a massive, massive step forward, and I think Valve handled it in a very elegant solution. Some of the other things I've suggested in the past were to increase loss bonus flatly for CT sides. This effectively does that, but in a way that incentivizes players to get aggressive instead of more passive. I have to give huge kudos to Valve. I think this is overall a fantastic change and by far the highlight of the patch, even though 90% of players will not notice it in their game to game. Good job, Valve. These are the changes we need to highlight, uplift, and shout out when they happen. Anyways, that's going to be it. Make sure you guys catch me on twitch.tv/LionHeartZ2 later tonight, playing Premier Season 3, and wish you guys the best on your placement matches. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, helps on the immensely YouTube algorithm. Let's reach 10K subs by the end of the year. Thank you to Skins Monkey. Check out the top link in the description down below. Go trade on their website. Hopefully the new trade rules don't fuck that over. We'll see how that goes. Thank you to my channel members. You guys know who they are. I don't want to go through the whole spiel. Make sure you come and channel member 5 bucks money support me directly. Thank you guys. Oh my god. Woo. Bye.